store it till war market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't take Guyana off. We must hold our leaders accountable. Let them know they are responsible for the wars I'll be in the world. When I think about it, my blood does boil. We must stop this stupidity, or we'll end up in poverty. I call on all Guyanese to show solidarity. Guyana, time to unite and do what is right. Demand better oil deals. This is a national appeal. Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil give you it cheap. Take it away and store it till war market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the Wednesday, 14th of July edition of the Lall Show on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5. Yes, we will continue the fight, and as you know, the Lall Show comes your way edition every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to 19 hours 20, and we invite you to join us as we all fight for a better Guyana. I'll now hand you over to the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Lall, who will make his presentation, after which, of course, you should know the drill by now. We will come back and take your calls and read your messages this evening. Mr. Lall, happy Wednesday, over to you. Good night.
Happy Wednesday to all Guyana, my friend. Kaieteur Radio. Guys, Josh, you know they're still messing with my website?
Yes.
I was shocked this morning. You get a call saying that the whole web page is kind of upside down. Every day, it has been about a month now, and I don't mean to stop. And it's creating a little havoc with people, you know. When they lock on, they can't get to read the Kaieteur News. They got to retry and retry and retry. But it's okay. I'll pray for those people who are trying to interrupt it. I'll pray for you guys. Josh, you want to help me pray for them?
I will.
Yeah, the only thing we can do is pray for them. Pray for all those evil guys. Hope that the Creator just touch their hearts and say, guys, listen up. What we are doing is the right thing. Anyway, Guyana, namaste. I'll just give you a little brief rundown there of what's happening. Guyana, you guys in a desperate, you guys need desperate people in this land. I don't know if it's desperation going to bring about a change or what, but we need desperate leaders. Leaders that will work in the best interests of all of us. Guys, leaders that will ensure that the foreigners who come in this country to invest, they operate in a way that all of us, the citizens, gets our fair share. And leaders that will make sure that happens, that the multinationals do not rob us. Please, we got to start waking up our leaders. Joshua?
Yes.
Before I get to tonight's program, I want to share a quick story with Guyana, and you too. Some workers from Linden came to me today, and they tell me a story. I felt so sorry for them afterwards. You know, they said They travel from Linden to Georgetown every day. They're working at Gisby. You know where Gisby is? At Houston, on the east bank of the Mara. Yeah. They complain about their contract terms and the conditions of it. The people said they receive a contract to which they take home payment for the first 3 months is $118,000 a month. And they say after 3 months, the Gisby people told them that they'll review the contract. They did, and after reviewing it, they give them $137,000 take home. When they told me that $79,400 have to come out for a monthly travel to Linden back and forth.
Wow.
I was like, are you guys serious? You travel every day from Linden to the East Bank there for working and go back and forth at night. I was like, no man, no. I say, yes, boss. So basically these people are taking home, they're taking home $39,000 a month when they don't take out the traveling expenses. Not only that, that amounts to like $1,200-$1,300 a day.
Yeah.
If you buy one food, if you buy a food for food, that $1,300 disappear.
Yeah.
So basically these people are working to buy a meal when the day comes. You hear that? And I was told that some of them came back this afternoon, right? A bunch of them, and said when they ask, when they talk up, the people say, you take the work or you leave the work.
Wow.
Some of them working from the West Coast, some of them working still from Borbies. You hear what's going on? And this is a rich, oil-rich country. This is the richest country right now on earth. And we have our local citizens working for $1,300, taking home at the end of the day they get $1,300. So how are they going to pay their rent, Josh?
Sure.
How are they going to pay light bills? How are they going to take care of their family?
Yeah.
That means they're just working to eat.
Yeah.
Wow. I believe that Mr. Jagdeo and Mr. Harman and Mr. Granger and Ali plus Ramjatan should go there and talk to these people, meet these people. It's important for you guys. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. It's sad, eh?
Beyond sad.
The Guyanese people, according to that situation, is working basically for the oil industry. You understand? It's like you're upkeeping them and you're just working for them, like slaves. We are happily giving rewards to foreign people who taking advantage and abuse our citizens. This is how our leaders running this country, Josh.
Sad.
Man, it's sad. Anyway, I just want to know what is going on in this. What is going on here, Josh, is tantamount to people from other villages coming into your home, violating your children in front of the whole village. And the parents are happy with that. They're so much happy that they would pay the rapists after they're done with a 5-star meal. Yeah. Our leaders allowing the oil people to violate us in that fashion. I'll be following up this story though. You understand? Because what is happening here, it's getting more sick. And if it continues like this, man, don't be surprised, we will all be diagnosed as sick. Sick people. But like I always said, we have to stand up.
Indeed.
We have to. Namaste to all of you. In the oil industry, there are several ways governments use to attract investors to come to your country and invest, whether in your gold, your diamond, or your oil. Some countries, brothers and sisters, give incentives to sweeten investors to bring them to your country. Every country in this world does that. You just give them a little incentive to make them feel nice, to excite them. And at the same time, they must make money. And you must make money too. You hear that, guys? You must make money too. At no time countries break laws, their laws, to facilitate foreign companies that come here and take advantage, that abuse your country and your people, especially the laws of your country. At no time countries should do that. You hear me, bro?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you listen to me carefully. Yeah. We should not allow any foreign players or companies come in your country and violate your laws. All incentives given must be within the laws of a country. Josh, I am talking about taxes here. Guyana, I am talking about taxes. Nobody should come and violate your laws of your country. We were told this by an attorney at law, a man named Christopher Ram. He's also a chartered accountant.
Yep.
He said Guyana made a huge blunder when they included Exxon. In Exxon agreement, a measure called pay on behalf system. Under that system, the country takes the responsibility to pay Exxon, to pay Hess, to pay CNOOC, all three of those oil company taxes from our profit oil. Christopher Ram said the financial statement for two of the company, Hess and CNOOC, alone for 2020, that two company walk away with $16 billion in profit. Out of that, they had to pay $5.4 billion in taxes, but they walk away scotch-free with our money. Yeah. Is the contract what Trackman signed that allowed them to walk away with it. $5.4 billion. And Guyana begging for COVID money and flood relief money and every kind of money. As for ExxonMobil's share of taxes, Mr. Christopher Ram said their accounts, their financial statement are so vague that you don't know. When you go through it, if you can find your head from your toenail, the man says everything jumble up. But because the three of them are partners, brothers and sisters, I think we can safely say you can add another $3 billion to the 5.4. And that will take us to $7.5 billion. Those three companies walk away with. last year in taxes alone from Guyana. And that's just an average. It could be a little more, it could be a little less. But here we are talking about over $7.5 billion in taxes for 2020 alone because of that arrangement. The arrangement Tratman signed on to. And Jagdeo seems not to care to get that change. Now we have this head of CDB Bank coming to Guyana to give loans. We give it away, billions, free in taxes, breaking our tax laws for ExxonMobil and their partners. And we begging for borrow from the World Bank, CDB and all over. Isn't this a lovely country? Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yes. Mr. Ram said Guyana didn't break one of the tax law, Josh. The man said Guyana did not only break one, he didn't break one. Guyana break two of the tax laws to enrich the oil company. Guys, why should we have to bear that burden, paying the oil company taxes? We should have been getting our rightful share of taxes from every single multinationals in this country, right? Mm-hmm. When I read this thing, what Christopher Ram put out, I just couldn't understand why would so much of our financial guru allowing this thing to go along. The lawyer said Tratman should not and cannot sign any contract with provisions regarding the pay on behalf formula, since it would violate one of the Income Tax Act. You understand that? Yeah. He should not have signed that. He cannot sign that. He went further to say the order the former Finance Minister Winston Jordan made to legitimize that provision in Parliament did not cure the problem. It compounded the illegality. More bluntly, man, one political crime on top of another. Ram said they did. It's like the man owe you, Josh, but you paying what he owes you. How foolish this can get? How idiotic are these leaders? What are they, man? Dumbbells? You guys exercise with dumbbells? Yeah, man. Chris said the government must decide if it will stand for Guyana or for the oil companies. And I want to ask the same question too. What about you guys, man? You want to ask the same question too? Yeah. Whose side will you, the leaders, be on, man? Your own people or the oil companies? The law or the unlawful? Could you guys tell me which side these leaders on? Ram said it in his conclusion, this entire contract is illegal from the beginning to the end, and asked the question, how can sanctity of contract play a role in anything that begins and ends with illegality? And I will have to keep asking that same question. If we have an illegal contract from the beginning to the end, then that's not a contract. Hence, it needs to be corrected or changed. Wow. I wish I was a lawyer. Josh, I'm going to take I'm going to go to law school. I hope they accept me.
Go for it.
Because I really want to take these people to court. The leaders of this country got to be really, really joking. And all of them. Hear this one, Josh. The administration just announced a program which they call Because We Care. School uniform and cash grant for public school children. They say each child will get $15,000 this year. And the school uniform and supplies will be another $4,000. A total of $19,000. And the total is students. They say we have 172,000 students. At $19,000 per student is $3.2 billion going towards school children and families across Guyana. And this is only for children who is going to public schools, not private schools. I agree with them. If you can afford to send your children to private school, then you don't need help, subsistence. You don't need that. I agree with that. You know, it's a nice thing. At least somebody showing that they care. I only hope that they care. They care so much about the children's pocket and not their pockets with that money. You understand? Yeah. I want the children to benefit, not them. Okay? But what caught my eyes and tickled my brain was that money going for children. $3.2 billion going to children. When we give away $7.4 billion in taxes to the oil companies. Right? Had we collected that from the oil companies, brothers and sisters, each one of the children could have gotten today $60,000, not 19. But these are the leaders that say they care because we care. They give away the foreigners' children double our money, what our children should have been getting. This is a beautiful land, eh? Yeah, man. I love it. I love this country. I told you guys I went to Exxon Mobil consultation in Diamond and left early Monday because I had the program. Brothers and sisters, I was told they had about 20 people there, included a fisherman. The fisherman told the Exxon people that since they began the oil operation, fish production has decreased significantly, and asked the people who's going to compensate them. They told him they will coordinate with the fisheries department. I had to laugh. You know what I mean, Joshua? The fisherman asked them, who's going to compensate us? And Exxon, Mike Ryan tell him, man, we will coordinate with the fishery department. Guy, that means nothing. That's the answer. You have nothing to get. What the fisheries department have to do with you? Nothing. That's how they brush you aside. You mean nothing. And you have nothing to get. You got to catch and eat cockabelly from the small trenches now, because you got no compensation to get from Exxon Mobil, and don't talk about the fisheries department. They are throwing you on a salawala there. this loving politicians you have in this land, that's the care they have. That's the concern they have. That's how they're looking out for your interests. I've been talking these things over and over. Sometimes people say I repeat myself, but I just want to make sure it is sinking in your heads, because it means it's a livelihood we are talking about down the road. It's early now, you guys would not feel it. But when there's no fish, when a fisherman can't make a living, then you will understand what's happening in this land. You know, I feel sorry for all these fishermen. But what can I do? You know what it means down the road? More poverty for the fishing industry people, all who depends on a good living in the fishing industry. Yes. It's more poverty for them. They may end up walking the streets, snatching umbrella and empty handbags or tennis roll bags. Guys, listen to this part. I was told that there were lots of questions more from the public at Diamond, but the EPA representatives cut short the consultation, telling the audience it was getting too late. They told the audience that there are still more public consultations at other places, and they can go there. Wow. You guys can go there. That's what the EPA people tell the participants at the Diamond Monday afternoon consultation and participation program on this gas to shore project. That is national consultation, Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Harman and Mr. Ramjitan? Yes, that is national participation on such a large scale project. You're being given limited time, and then they're telling you that, you know what, you can go to the other venue and ask a question there. I told you guys this is only a sham. It's a showcase. This is a game, guys, a tricky game, a trick-card game. It's just for the records they are doing this. How can you advertise for such a project? Begin the program at 5:30 and ends at 7:30. That's 2 hours. When 1 hour is for the presentation, you basically have 1 hour for the entire East Bank of Demerara to ask questions. Let me ask, do you guys really want a public consultation and participation on these type of project? I don't think so. Telling people to go to other venues to ask their questions. When these people turn up at the other venues, how the people in that neighborhood, they will have to go to another venue because they will not have time to ask their questions. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to be a farther distance.
And then you got to find money to pay to go to another distance. You know? It's for really these people going on within this land. That's what you're doing to this country, EPA. This is how we are running a national consultation program on this biggest project ever in this country. This is nothing but a puppy show. You know, No wonder we see any government official or an MP at any of these consultations, because they all know it's a papi show the government and the oil sector is putting on. Yes, putting on to the nation. It's a joke, it's an insult. Brothers and sisters, is only the paperwork and the records of this consultation they need to show that the consultations were advertised and the public was there in attendance. That gives the leaders a say to jump up and announce, well, the public had their say. But do they really have a say? No. If I turn up and you cut me and I can't ask my questions, then you didn't really give me a say.
No.
Right?
So why are you here?
Same for the
Right.
people.
I raise questions, plenty of people raise questions. But let's wait and see if our questions will be taken into consideration in granting the permission for this project. I'll bet Guyana that every concern we raised at those consultations will be thrown in the garbage bin, because it seems the leaders already made up their mind to go ahead with this project. Yep. That's what they do. That's what we have to live with. Just the other day, Guyana, Kaieteur News carried a story where Hess boss, Mr. John Hess, opened his mouth and said how he met with Jagdeo and President Ali, and they decided that the Yellowtail project going to move ahead expeditiously. Yes. Lisa 4 project, the Yellowtail. The same project what I hold a consultation on. The one that me alone went to at the Humanayana. And nobody knew. Nobody didn't know that Jagdeo and Ali meeting secretly with the man to pass the project. It's the man who come out and tell Guyana, tell an audience, his people, that he had a meeting with the president and the vice president, and they actually give him assurance that, hey, the project is going to walk through. Yeah. We will see what plays out when approval is given on this one. Remember, we still have no insurance on any project.
Yes, sir.
The most vital toolkit every citizen should have, according to the financial guru, Ashni Singh. Y'all hear anything from Jagdeo or President Ali about his secret meeting, Josh?
No.
No, man. You're not going to hear anything from them. They're meeting quietly, secretly, and discussing projects and all these consultations. Right? It's just a sham. They're just trying to pull wool over people's head. You know, Josh, when I heard that Hess met with President Ali and VP Jagdeo, the first thing that came to my mind was, yes, at least they called John Hess. That means they're going to talk about renegotiation of the contract. But when my reporter began to tell me, boss, is the Yellowtail project they're hustling to push through, I down my head and walk away. Because when you meet secretly, I thought there's something good coming out of it to make Guyana feel good. Not true, Josh?
Yeah.
Instead, not a single word we hear about renegotiation or anything.
Everybody's silent.
Do you know what I find strange? Every day things are being reported and all our leaders are either deaf or dumb. We are not hearing a single word from these people. Not a single word from any one of our leaders. It is so sad that our leaders coming with this electricity can game again. Setting up a power plant at Wales for generate electricity. And never mention the private aspect. The big money aspect. All you hear is how electric bill got cut in half. Guys, this project is being designed to fill the rich man pocket.
Oh, yeah.
While the poor man, you out there, would be saddled with the bill. They have been taking advantage on the poor man from since day one, and they don't mean to stop. They just don't mean to stop. The Berbice Bridge and the Marriott is working to pay the middleman. Yes, the rich men and women. You call it the Middleman Project. Guys, this is the last time I'm going to explain this thing. And I have to talk about it because it is important. I'm going to give you an example about this Berbice Bridge, Marriott, and the Gas to Shore project. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it. Listen to me carefully. This is a nice example I came up with today. Your big brother Tech, your parents' money were left for all 10 of his brothers and sisters. And he built a 10 apartment building. Let me repeat. Your big brother take all the money where your parents left for 10 brothers and sisters and build a 10 apartment building. He allowed 2 of his friends to put in a little change in the project. And all the money they're collecting from the building going to the 2 friends. You hear that?
Yeah.
All the rent money going to the 2 friends. That's how the brother designed the contract. Guys, if you can't understand what me just explained there,
Something wrong.
y'all dumb, dotish and stupid. Please don't listen back to my program. And I mean it. I am rude. If you don't understand what I just said there, don't listen back to my program. That's what is going on in the Berbice Bridge, the Marriott Hotel, and that is what will go on with the Wales power plant, the Gas to Shore project. They must design it not for the Guyanese people to benefit. They're designing it, and the contract spells it out clear. Only the private investors will be getting the hog of the money. When we, Guyana, putting in the bulk of the money, the 900 million what they said they're going to put in, is Guyana going to put in it. The gas for Guyana paying for, we only would be using a little part, the dry part of it to bring the electricity. The wet part, we got all the money in it, does not belong to us. It belongs to the private people. Okay, I am not going to go back into this thing again. I'll finish with that. And we have leaders not saying a word about that. Not a word. Not from the opposition, not from the open streets, nobody. Only Glenn Lall alone talking about it. But some people know about it. Every day the oil people and our leaders selling us tablets. Guys, medicine that they themselves can't swallow. Every day they're selling us dreams and more dreams that things will be better. Guyana gonna be Dubai. Remember?
Let's go to Dubai.
I'm still around. I'm waiting to see the Dubai. ExxonMobil got 600 oil blocks when the laws of Guyana says they cannot have more than 60 oil blocks. Everything them do is illegal in this land. They're drilling dry holes every hour and sending us bills by the hundreds of millions of US dollars. Today in the Kaieteur News, we have a story in which CGX, another oil company in the Kanji oil block, them drill a dry hole and hand us a bill for 155 million American dollars. Today they said they're drilling another one. How they went and borrow some 6.1 million Canadian dollar to go drill another hole in the quarantine oil block. And guess what, Josh? They're telling us up front that this one gonna cost 85 million American dollars. Very dry or wet? Man, this is a sweet country. Is who really authorizing these things, man? Guys, you don't want us to get some little boat and go out there and with a little arg or something and let's drill something? Or let's borrow in France. In France, they had this. They have a showpiece, a boat in a museum with an auger to the bottom of it. Maybe we could send and borrow that one. Let's go drill somewhere and just collect hundreds and hundreds of millions of US. We can do that. Josh, you don't want to join me?
Sure.
Raj, you want to join me? Yeah, man. Here we go. It's every day they're drilling. They're drilling like they're crazy and sending us bills. What's going on in this land? I told you guys they already drilled in excess of 7 billion American dollar in holes, dry and wet. And every day that goes by, they're drilling more and more, pushing the bills up further, more and more. And we got to pay for it. Kaieteur News and Starbuck News carried as their lead stories today a story that was first reported in the New York Times last week on Guyana oil contract. Here this one. Those articles are based on a report done by a non-profit international organization named Natural Resource Governance Institute. That organization, brothers and sisters, look out for countries with oil and other valuable minerals like gold, diamond, bauxite, and so on. The report said Guyana oil contract scary and worrying, and it should be of concern to all its citizens. Can I repeat that, Josh?
Yes, please.
The report said Guyana oil contract scary and worrying, and it should be of concern to all its citizens. Not Glenn Lall saying that, That came from the mouth of an international body. Them is the people who said that, not Glenn. The report said, it's in today's paper, both Kaieteur and Starbuck News. The report said they studied 18 oil-rich countries, including Guyana, and rated Guyana 55% out of 100. That is going to school, and you barely pass, Josh. Yeah. One of the things the people say that get me over the 50% mark is the release of the oil contract by David Granger. You hear that? Yes. That is what pushed us over the 50% mark. If not, we would have failed. Them said that was a very good thing for Guyana and for transparency in the oil sector. Guys, I have told you many times, hadn't David Granger done that, we would have been like sailors in the winterland. Yeah. And I tell you guys, thank him for that one thing he did. If not, we could have never been having this type of discussion, and we would have been just like the entire Africa and Trinidad. The second thing that put us over the 50% pass mark was that Guyana has a system in place to hold, keep, and spend the little crumbs money we get in from the oil. Is the bank account the people talking about in America that has the 2 cents? But they're still warned. They're warned. If the PPP change it, all of us in trouble, because they will squander the little money, the little crumbs out, which they already got them eye on. Yeah, man. The people say Guyana needs to double its efforts to catch up with a proper process, a proper system in every corner in this oil industry. They talk about the fact that we have a very weak licensing system. Our leaders just wake up in the morning and just grant license, like if they're sharing out party bags. That's what the people are actually saying. It's so sickening when one consider what the international body is reporting about us for the entire world to see in this 21st century. Man, I didn't go to a high school, but I'm ashamed for being a student coming from a primary school. I feel like bagging my face and jump overboard if I have to face the international community defending leaders like y'all, the leaders of Guyana, every one of you, when the international body has to describe y'all contract in that fashion, what y'all allowing foreigners to come here and do to y'all. I feel shame. The vice president grant the Payara permit within 6 weeks without even demanding full insurance, much less a renegotiation. Now they're going to allow Yellowtail, maybe by next week. I don't know. And all the rest will be licensed. There's no standard way in securing the best interest for Guyana. Guys, we should have held back Payara and demand full insurance to protect Guyana and our neighbors. But no, they didn't do that. We could have held back Payara and demand a change for a better deal. But no, the vice president didn't do that. Now we have another golden opportunity. Let me repeat. Now we have another golden opportunity to hold the fourth project. Yes, the Yellowtail strong. Pull out the yellow from the tail if we have to, so that we can get our fair share, what belongs to us. Man, Joshua,
Yes.
Raj, you get fooled one with one. You get fooled with Lisa two. You get fooled with three. Wait, man. Y'all taking fool with 4 to? Josh?
No.
You know, since yesterday, my voice is not the same. My nose is kind of stuffy. My voice has changed. But I want to tell you guys something. Josh,
Yes.
you know it's not fool is the word I want to use there.
Definitely.
Just because my voice and this fresh cool I have, and I am on this radio, I don't want to be disrespectful to children. You guys know the word. I want to describe what the leaders are allowing these people to do to us. With project after project. And I am damn well upset. I am fracking upset. Yes, I am breaking up into pieces. I am fracking. The manner in which our leaders licensing these people and signing deals away from public eyes leave me to continue. I want to continue asking this question. What are you guys benefiting personally from these giveaways that you don't want to change or renegotiate these contracts? Could you guys tell us something? Brothers and sisters, I can't think of nothing else to ask them, because there's no other thing I can think of. Why are they behaving like this? Why are they operating like this? Why are they giving away our assets in this fashion, in this way? Brothers and sisters, all over the world has guidelines, have rules, mechanisms, systems, standards, operational procedures, how countries handle their oil. Wait, man, we can't learn? Why is our leaders refusing to renegotiating an illegal contract? What are they afraid of? What are you going to lose out? Man, Josh, you're not even hearing a word from their mouths. You know, that would say, well, we're going to ask Exxon. We're going to just ask Exxon to renegotiate this contract. You're not even hearing that. Much as to demand a renegotiation. The international body gave us a very low and embarrassing score on our licensing procedure. The way we licensing these things. The people said the way we licensing these projects and handle the taxation in the oil business remains troubling. You hear that? They say it remains troubling. Yes, our taxes. Imagine this international body is concerned with we, the Guyanese people, on the way we break in Guyana law to facilitate an illegal act with taxation. Them people concerned about we and warning we. Several of our local accountants, chartered accountants, been voicing their displeasure on this illegality in which Guyana, yes, our leaders allowing the foreigners, especially the oil players, to come here, take our resources, and leaving us with nothing but little crumbs. But the one and only thing that can move us from the crumbs, but the one and only thing that can move us from the crumbs, brothers and sisters, is our basic taxes. Taxes that we leaders waived. Wake up and just wave. One sign it and the other one not doing anything to correct it or to change it. Guys, it's like 100 mango you pick. 2 come out for your royalty, them take out 75 for the production, the loan and the interest costs. So you're basically left with a couscous. You're left with 22 mango, in which you get 11 and the Isle man get 11. Out of you 11 mango, what you get? You got to take out 4 mango for pay heat taxes. That is what is going on in the oil industry with the Exxon contract. You know, I don't think I can make it any simpler than that. That's why the people are so concerned about the way we give away with tax money and how willy-nilly we give out our oil permits and license. I am beginning to smell a nasty change in this land. And if that should ever happen, trust me, brothers and sisters, all Guyanese will have to get a visa to come to this country called Guyana. Guys, when ExxonMobil can sell us a rubber hammer to drive a concrete nail into a concrete wall, and we buy that, and they're hiding the real hammer from us, or the sledgehammer from us, start looking for another country to live in or to call your own. God bless you and have a good night. I'm going to take some calls. And don't forget what I just said there. When ExxonMobil can sell you, can hand you a rubber hammer to drive a concrete nail into a concrete wall, and you laugh with that, you buy that, you smile with that, while they're hiding the real hammer and the sledgehammer behind their back from you, start looking for a country. You start looking for a country.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Lall, for your presentation this evening. At this time, we'll open our telephone lines, and we have a very first call on the line. Good evening to you, caller, and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Good night, sir.
Good night to you.
I want to make a contribution to this oil discussion.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yes, I agree with everything that Mr. Lall and his team is doing, and I think we have been unfairly treated by this oil contract. But I want to mention, since this oil contract signed by the previous government, this country has been cursed. We get this virus coming, now we get flooding, now we get a cost of living gone sky high. All the communities that we're living in get pothole roads, clogged drains, all the playground bushy. If you come around your region 5 bathroom, and your reporters can see, this whole country is really gone like Africa side where these companies kind of colonized those countries. We started facing this thing. It's only about 3 years now, or 2 years now we start see this aisle.
It's a curse.
Yes, this thing. Look, I seriously believe that as Guyanese, we are not going to improve. Our lives will get worse unless we have a renegotiation of this oil contract. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
That is what I've been saying every day, bro. It is an illegal contract from the beginning to the end. It's not a contract, and not a single leader, not one of your 65 member parliaments is even saying, brother, let's have a take the call.
Good evening to you, caller.
Good evening.
All right, let me just remind you that when you call on us this evening on the Glen Lall show, you have to lower the volume of your radio.
Good night, sir. I would like to just push a word to Mr. Glen Lall. Good night. Good night, Mr. Glen.
Good night.
Sir, all you're talking about them people is, and I'll listen to what you tell them for the renegotiate the contract. Never punish Guyanese people, Mr. Lall. Never punish Guyanese people. Guyanese just people stop on his place. Thank you for your certain words, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a nice question gentleman asked. Wait, man, then I see that they don't care. You know, is greed got you guys like that? Huh? All you think about you, all you guys think about yourself? You know? When international institutions have to belittle Guyana and the Guyanese way in doing business with oil companies, it's sad, it's sickening. It makes me feel like a sent ice as a Guyanese. You know? This is why I keep telling you guys, it's so difficult for me to address and call these people sirs and misters and madams.
Welcome. Caller, good evening to you and welcome.
Sir.
Hello?
Mr. Lall, the nation owes you a tremendous debt for what you're doing. My question to you, I saw in the news the other day that the government is asking investors for the
All right, caller, you cannot listen to yourself and talk to us at the same time. Hence,
Turn on your radio station.
you have to
Turn
take-
on your radio, my friend.
all right, we have our overseas caller that's joining us. We'll take it here. We seem to lost it. Do you have a caller in line? 226-7453 and 226-7454. Yes, we have a caller. Caller, good evening to you and welcome.
Hi, good evening. I was listening to your program and it's very informative. And I always must congratulate you for the tremendous work you do on reporting these irregularities by the government. And it's not only by the government, it's also by the international community. But what I could say is that you don't blame people for disappointing you. You blame yourself for expecting too much from people who's greedy.
Thank
All
you.
right, that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Keep it short and sweet
Thank
this
you
evening
so much.
to allow other callers to call.
Expecting.
Caller, good evening
You
to
know,
you.
one second. Hold the call.
Caller, please
it.
hold the line, please.
You know, it's a nice way the gentleman put it there. You know, we expect too much. My friend, I want to tell you, we born that way. You know, you have your parents, you must expect from them, man. They made you. They bring you in this world. We elect leaders, and we got to have some level of understanding, respect, trust, and dependency on them, that they will do the right thing to make sure that we, their children, are not thrown out the bathtub. If you understand what I'm trying to say. But I thank you for that, your contribution.
Caller, you there. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Josh. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening.
You know, I must congratulate Glenn again on the very good job he's doing informing us on things that we do not know as Guyanese. You know, it is so disappointing from our leaders to see what is happening. You know, these leaders, this contract is no contract at all. It is the worst contract the world has ever seen.
Exactly.
And when you know, Glenn and the Guyanese people is calling on a daily basis for a renegotiation of this lopsided, one-sided contract, and they're playing a blind eye and a deaf ears to what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that they cannot negotiate this contract with ExxonMobil?
millions and billions of US dollars we are losing out on a daily basis because of this messed up contract. And when our Guyanese brothers and sisters, OGRA $2 and 2 cents, they're running and sending this letter and that letter to get them petty things and stifle our own people, punish our own people.
Exactly.
The right word to use. And the billions of US dollars going down the drain. And they ain't going into these foreigners and make sure GRA get the tax. And these foreigners paying no tax. Yeah?
Yes.
We cannot accept this foolishness. I hope the Guyanese people wake up and let us come together and let us get out there on the road and let these leaders know this thing got to stop. This, Glenn, these wealth in this country is who wealth, man. It's Ali and Jagdio and Ham and their wealth.
It's our wealth.
Good. When we voted for them to take our wealth and give it to the foreigners to do what they want and tell us nothing. Sit in the office there and put this confidentiality clause with all of what they're doing. Guyanese mustn't know nothing.
Exactly.
I don't think that is what we voted for. We voted so they could negotiate and make right decision on our behalf and give us the best contract. You look at the other countries, the foreign countries, they do the best for the citizens out there. But look what our leaders are giving us. They shame.
Hold on the line.
Hold. What they're doing.
Hold on the line. Hold on the line. Hold.
Yeah.
I have asked ExxonMobil themselves, and I asked our leaders here to equate or to name a contract, an oil contract, that come close to resembling the one Guyana has. And I'm still waiting for an answer to that. Then you talk about confidentiality, right? They are Jagdeo and Brassington them right now with Ashley Singh putting together the gas to shore project there at Wales. And they are already hustling to stitch in confidentiality clause into that project already. So it means everything is secret with them. That's their first name, you know.
Yeah.
Under Jagdeo, vice president, when he was president, and now he come back here, almost every single contract under that man's stewardship, they install confidentiality clause in the contracts.
I know that.
And some very silly, very simple too, contracts, bro, that even a donkey could see it. These guys would put in a confidentiality clause in it just because they want to hide something. Every one of them. That's why I had to say thanks so many times to Mr. Granger for releasing this oil contract. Hadn't he released this oil contract, 15 generations would have come and died. And under the PPP, under Jagdev's stewardship, Brassington or Ashley Singh or Robert Prasad, I don't know much about Irfan Ali yet, but we are still looking and we are learning from him. He's the young one in the group. But I could attest to that these guys, everything they do is confidentiality. They're stitching, they're sneaking. That's how they run this country.
Well, Glenn, I hope that the young one in the group who is the head of state,
exactly.
I hope he take the stand and stand up as the minister of the Caribbean when the election started in Guyana and say, take your lick like a man, why he fight like a man and be a man in this thing and don't let nobody run his show. Because this thing with these class and confidential, you know one thing before I go, you know, I think the PPP, as the leaders in the PPP, I say when we voted for the comeback because we know the previous government messed up, I think they already made enough money. I said this time we can get the best from them. They can change all the contracts and they can give Guyanese the best and solve Guyana to the best. But I'm disappointed with what I'm seeing. But I I hope they change. I hope they change, because if they don't make up the mind to change, we gonna make the change or come out of there. If you can't lead, step aside.
I agree.
Step aside and let somebody else lead, because we got to get what belongs to us as Guyanese. Glenland, you'll be there talking and you'll be preaching. I hope they listen to you. I hope, I listened to you when you asked those questions Monday at the thing with the Exxon boss there.
Yeah.
This man fumbling and talking instead of trash.
Yes.
And can't answer the question properly.
Exactly. He didn't. He didn't.
And then he's saying it's the government, and the government is their thing and their thing. The government pushing them for put it. We are accepting these crap with these people giving us then.
Yeah. I agree. Josh, I think what the gentleman is talking there, I plan to play the entire meeting, so you guys can hear all the questions and the way they answered it. A matter of fact, several questions when he's cornered, right? You know what he said? Well, we are just doing this is a government job. We are just participating. We are partaking in it. We were told to play a role in it.
Yeah.
He take himself out.
Let me, before I go, when you ask him, the wall is moving away from this gas thing.
Yes.
Why is it you trying to push it on us?
Yeah.
And keep us and bring this thing and push it to us?
Mm-hmm.
He fumbling and saying the government want it and they want it and they support it. And
Exactly.
Anyhow, Glenn, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I do hope the leaders listening to you.
Thank you.
Have a blessed rest of the night. Sir.
Thank you. Same to you. I did, one second. I had to watch him in his face when he told us that this gas assured project is reducing carbon footprints. And I looked at him and I said, don't do that to me.
Don't disrespect.
Yeah, don't disrespect me by telling me that. And he right away, I could have seen his face turn from red to blue. Because it's so disrespectful to watch me in my face and tell me what gas to shore is lighter, and gas to shore would reduce emissions. And I'm like, you for real? And he didn't answer because he knew where I was coming from. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, gentlemen, good night.
Good night.
I just wanted to say that what has happened and
Go ahead, pull the microphone.
yeah, what has happened is that we know for a long time we had a lopsided contract. And there's about 133,000 people in Guyana that knew that also. So they voted for this government and they look for representation from this government, but they're not getting it because it's been almost a year since this government changed and they're not getting any real representation as far as this oil and gas contract is concerned.
One second, I really thought when they would have left office in 2015, that they would have come back at different people.
Some introspection.
Right? Exactly. And but when I look at some of the things they began doing, it's like in my mind I look back and I said, nothing has changed. I have looked at that school on the Essequibo Coast, that contract, that $585 million contract for a school in which I can build 6 secondary school across the Essequibo Coast. When you look at that thing and nothing is being done, when you look at $6.3 million for two little Benab there, I had to ask President Ali, and I was nice to him. I said, man, what's going on? Wait, nothing has changed in this land? I did ask him. I said, man, wait, nothing has changed? Like there's no shame in this land anymore? I'm looking at some of these contracts, and like, wait, man, like nothing has changed. Like the shame hasn't removed.
Yeah, you see, we
and unless we embarrass them and call the names to these projects, we're not going to get a change. We have to like skin them up, to say like, Anthony, What are you doing? We got to call these contractors out too. Because the contractors are working in co with our politicians, with the leaders. And that's how the money is being split and squandered and thief. You know, there's a set of them working in collaboration, man.
Yes,
You know, it is so sickening.
a point I wanted to make too also is the president, when he was inaugurated, he spoke about transparency and accountability, and he gave Guyanese that assurance. But we're not seeing that. The other thing is that in these contracts, they're talking about sanctity of contract. Now, for me, it's preposterous because you're representing the people of Guyana. How could you represent the people of Guyana and the Guyanese people don't know? You're saying that these contracts are good for us, we're going to benefit, but then everything in the contracts you want to keep secret, and then you're talking about sanctity of contracts. So really and truly, let me use one of Mr. Jagdew's famous words, that's duplicitous, you know.
You know that word sanctity. That word sanctity. A matter of fact, I never heard of that word until the oil contract came into in the being, and I had a difficult time trying to pronounce the word sanctity, right? And when I learn about the word, and the more I learn about the contract, I'm like, wait, they really put that word in the Bible? You know, is that word really belong to the Bible? You know, what when you sign an agreement, it's signed in blood, it's signed in stone. Wait, this oil contract that is illegal from the start to the end. You know, as a Christian, one should be ashamed to call that word sanctity of contract when you're dealing with this illegality, this immorality, this dirt, and you want to use a word that belongs to the holy book. No, man, no, it's like an insult. You should not be a Christian.
There's no sanctity of Guyana's laws. Example is above Guyana's laws. So there's no sanctity of Guyana's laws. There's sanctity of contract.
Mr. Lall, I just want to clarify something. That national NGO that talked about the 55% that we got, 55 out of 100.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it was passing in Guyana, but just let you know, those people that did that, they're an international body. An international body, usually 70 is passing, 70. In Guyana, 55 is passed, but in the US and the ABC, 70 is passed. So they actually gave us a failing grade. 55 is we failed.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. And then the other thing I want to mention, using that same body that mentioned that point, if you can just appeal now to your listeners to have other international bodies like the said one help us out, just like they did. If they know people, your listeners know people, they can connect us to them. Just like one of your listeners connect us to that beautiful video with Confession of a Hitman.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So appeal to your listeners right now. Said, look, if you got connection with any international body that can help us, please contact you. Thank you.
Well, you have actually did that for me. So I would be happy, I'll be grateful, I'll be thankful for anyone who wants to help us in this fight. Whether you're local, you're international, whether you're with an organization, you're single, we are here for help. We need that help. We cannot live like this with this contract, and our future generations cannot. We cannot left future generations to live in poverty when we have so much wealth. You know, I wanted to tell you guys, the people talk about the sovereign wealth fund, that they give us little marks for preserving the money in the U.S. bank account, the little crumbs. You know, Guyana, I don't think you guys really understand. That money is not our money, you know. So don't put your mind, your eyes and your mouth on that money. That money is there, safe in an account. That money belongs to future generations too. It does not belong to us alone. It belongs to future generation. Our unborn children should really benefit from that money along with us. But if we are to benefit from it, then we must have a plan. We must have something tangible, real policy, a real document, so that when we draw a little money from there, the politicians don't thief it out. They invest it in which we can benefit. But money has to left back there for our unborn children and future generations. That same little couscous, what they got? $400 and something million. That's what they have. That's all they have. So if you left 200, then 200 can't even buy some little water boats in Guyana. So don't put your eye there. There's nothing there because the contract does not give us anything. This is why we have to fight for something, and the contract has to change to give us that something. Go ahead if you get two calls. Yeah, do you want to say?
The question that I wanted to ask.
You call it in line or no? Go ahead.
You spoke earlier about the taxes that Guyana paid on behalf of CNOC and I think Hess, and you said it was about 4 billion.
7.5 billion.
And that is US or Guyana money?
That's Guyana dollar.
Guyana dollar.
That's like 40 million US.
Yeah, because I realize you mentioned also that this Because We Care grant.
And this 40 million US is only the taxes for 2019, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we lose out. Right? We're going to lose out more in 2020. Right? On the single project. You just for a moment try to figure the cost when Lisa 1, 2 and 3 kicks in. We will be losing in the billions of US dollar in taxes. What can come and make us into a real Dubai? This is leaving out the change of contract. We are just talking about taxes.
The taxes that are due, yeah.
What is due to us? What every one of us pay. Our laws, breaking our laws. That's all I'm talking about. The taxes, you know. If we get fair share of taxes from those gold, oil, gold, timber, and bauxite, this country can live.
And not just that, we could have actually funded the gas ashore projects ourselves.
Man, trust me, man, we can do that. The gas ashore project, if we're funding it, if we're funding it, you want me to laugh again? I believe it's not Exxon funding that. Read through the line.
Yeah, true.
I am 100% certain in my heart, my body and soul tell me, Exxon is not funding nothing. Yeah. Exxon is just saying, hey, we're putting up the money to do that. It's not Exxon doing that. Yeah. It's the private people doing that. It's the private people, what Jack Dayton wants to stitch in there, they have the money to invest there.
The middleman.
The middleman. Yeah, the middleman. Glenn Lall wants to be one of the middlemen.
Hitman.
No, I want to be inside there because I want to see is who inside the thing. And every Guyanese should have a say.
Who's the middleman?
Everybody, I am encouraging every Guyanese to put in 100 Guyana inside. We will tell Jagdeo that all of us, as you want a public-private partnership in the gas ashore, every Guyanese want to be part of it. Every one of us want to put in $10, Mr. Jagdeo, Mr. Brasington, Mr. Ashley Singh, President Ali, and Mr. Harmon. I want to put in 1,000 Guyana dollar. And I think every Guyanese want to put in 1,000 Guyana dollar. So it's going to make money and all of us will make money. You hear that? You hear what I'm saying loud?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We have shares.
All of us must have shares.
Yeah.
The same way how them alone, all of us should have shares in the Borby's Ridge. All of us should have share in the Marriott Hotel. So that all of us should have been benefiting. You hear that, Mr. Jagdeo? We want shares. I will come and picket your house. I will come and picket your office. personally if I don't get a share there. I'm letting you know up front. And every Guyanese who wants a share must be given that opportunity. Because if you want to make a public-private partnership project, all of us want to be part of it.
We are the public, yeah. We are the public.
Yes.
Part of it.
You're going to get through with this kind of skullduggery and dirty business. No, you're not going to get through with it. You want to share? Anybody want to share? All of us want to share.
All the public, yeah. We are the public.
Just $1,000 you want to put it. I got a little more to put. Yeah. And listen, man, I say you want to do it, let's do it. Let's don't make them get away with these type of projects. You see how nothing has changed? They have come back with the same trickery. It's called trickery. Right? All the time, you know. He hold a press conference on this gas show project and never tell us that this thing, he did say, by the way, well, for now the government is doing it. I remember him saying that because I'm looking at all these things. Every word that comes out of my mouth, I'm listening to them. You got to listen to these people keenly. But I know them to a T. When I open them out and make a sentence, I know exactly where they're coming from. So I heard him say, well, for now it's a government project. But if private investors want to come on board, we will look at that. We will see that. Well, Mr. Jagdeo, Lall wants to be one. And all Guyanese want to be one. So don't bring that trick on me anymore. We have had enough of that, bro.
Mr. Lall, you said that you were expecting them to change. I'm sure you heard the saying, a leopard cannot change its spot, nor a zebra. So why were you expecting change when you've heard?
Oh, brother, we're dealing with human beings. We're not dealing with a leopard. Oh, we can only hope that they change, man. Listen, you gotta hope that people change, you know. All of us can change. All of us can change, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed.
let's hope, no, man. Hello? Yes. Hold a second. I'm putting you live. Yes. Go ahead.
We want $5,000 during contract.
Oh, you want $5,000 share too?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Must call me when we're ready.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks.
Go.
Bye. Here, a caller called me and tell me he wants $5,000 share too. All Guyana would like to have a share.
If they say it's a profitable venture, let's be part of it.
Exactly. Don't.
I'm thinking that we have about 750,000 people by 1,000. That's already $750 million we're talking about there.
Yes.
So that's a significant sum. It's almost $1 billion Ghana dollars we're talking about
If
there.
this is such a good deal, we want to be part of the deal. Right?
Exactly.
In fact, Guyana should be the first investors.
Yes.
You know, and direct investment.
Exactly.
Because I think one of the promises was the government is to get Guyanese people out of poverty. The best way to lift people out of poverty is to have them invest.
Right. Exactly.
So,
have them invest so they can participate, so they can get a piece of it.
Yeah, because it's our oil, it's our gas. So
Yes. And it's our oil, it's our thing.
And investment is local content.
yeah.
But and also investments, public investments give you public standing on the company. You know, you have a say, because definitely the public would want to have shareholders on the board. You understand? To which I want, if I'm investing my money, I gotta know what you guys doing.
Yeah.
You can still get con. Trust me, we can still get con, right? But once you have investors, you know, everybody can hook up to rob you.
Yeah.
Shareholders have
Watchmen.
shareholders will be watchmen for them.
Yeah. You'll have more
And we'll
public
have
scrutiny,
say.
you know.
You can't come, when you sit at the table, you can't, at least, trust me, you put Lall, they can't outsmart me at all.
Yeah, and when you're part of it, when you have shares, then you feel like you're a part of it. You don't feel like it's somebody else own. You feel like it's real.
I always remember, you gotta hear this one. I never forget Ashley Singh for this, you know. When they announced the Marriott Hotel, I called Ashley Singh, and I said, he was the finance minister. I said, Ashley, I don't know whatever you guys doing with the Marriott, But to make sure I got $1,000 to put in, right? I want to be a part of it. So I should say, carry me upon a solo wine, you know? And I'm like, wow. The man said, Glenn, you know, you in the newspaper business, and if we are to take people, you know, you will want to have investors who know a little bit about the hotel industry. You see when he started telling me that thing? You know, you don't want to know how I was boiling up in my inside. I'm in my mind, I'm saying, look at this moron. He ain't know nothing about business, and talking to a man who grew in business, live in business, eat it, sleep it, and dream it. And he disrespecting me like that. I had to tell. Since then, I've never spoken back to him. I've never, because I told him, I said, you eyes past me to talk to me like that. You know, and the man has never talked back to me. But this is the kind of game they throw upon you. They think you're stupid. They think that they're the only people in this world have brain. All I ask, give me just, you said it's a public-private partnership.
Maybe a share.
I'm a public. Just give me a little share in it and forget me, man. They don't want me in it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The same exact road, right? The same dimension. They did with the Marriott Hotel, telling me, well, you know, Glenn, you gotta know a little about the industry before we take you in. Well, I want to ask him. I want to know who are the private people inside, if they know anything about the hotel industry. Mr. Ashley Singh, you hear me? Well, it's the same thing they're bringing in now with the oil and gas, with the power plant. They don't say, asking you if you want to invest. Man, like I got a special program on this thing, man. If you want to be an investor into this thing, man, I got no program, man. You got to hear what you got. You got to know, and you got to own, and you got to show, and you got to come up with. Oh, brother, we ain't got all them brain. We just want to put in $1,000 inside. Please. And don't tell me we got to show you bank book and all them thing for that. More than $1,000 the people of this country want to put in, each one of we. Man, basically, exactly what Ashley Singh was trying to tell me. Same game plan they got, man. You understand? Actually pushing you. They don't want you. They want their own. I didn't hear the word, man. Joshua.
No people. They're just sleeping.
Yeah, their own middleman, they want. Is the middleman. Yeah, you guys like middleman, huh? It's okay.
Right.
Excuse me. It's so disrespectful, huh? It is so disrespectful how they operate. I'm getting thirsty. Any more calls?
No, any more calls?
Parad? Were you at the diamond thing Friday? The diamond consultation, when the fisherman asked his question and they just cut the program.
Yeah, well, the fishermen went across to, they had one over at the West Demar Secondary School this afternoon. But they finally, someone from the government was there. There was there was someone from the Ministry of Natural Resources there today with one advisor from the Ministry of Natural Resources. So he got a new one today. He said in $900 million, or somebody gave a wrong figure, it's going to be $600 million for the whole project, not only the pipeline.
Oh, they reduced it today?
Yes. There's a consultant with the Ministry of Natural Resources. He said some people they made a big mistake with the calculation.
Mistake? It's mistake. And how much? 600?
Yeah, he said the total to cost $600 million.
You call a mistake? That's a dancing game they're playing. Yeah. They're playing with the Guyanese people.
He's an advisor to the Ministry of Natural Resources.
I want to speak to them. You must ask them if they could come on the radio and let's have this discussion, man.
Well, they have it.
Guyana, all of them hiding.
Tomorrow is online. Tomorrow is online owner. The online thing. So maybe you could ask them tomorrow.
My friend, it is a sick project. It's a sick project. Yeah. Joshua, you have any telephone call?
No.
I like you guys to play that song for me, you know? That one man thing, and I don't want to be a one man anymore. I want you guys to be with me.
Yes.
I want you guys to come on board with me. We have to take on this fight. This is a fight for all our unborn children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren, guys. They cannot get away with this project. This is the worst oil contract on earth, and let us don't allow them to get away with it. You know, I've driven from the East Bank yesterday, and all I see is patch and patch and patch. They are patching the roads. Guyana will have to be renamed Patch Holes Guyana. This is not rebuilding or refixing. This is a patch hole Guyana. And they're only patching the little potholes, but the road is twisting. It's slanting. It's already the East Bank Road. The road in going through Bagastong to go to Windsor Estate, man, like I said, it's done with. It's done with. The dump road, the dump site road. It's done with. I'm so sorry for those people living in the Windsor neighborhood and at the back of Eccles there. That road is completely finished. And we don't know yet where we'll get money to fix that, yes.
You make mention of the problems with the infrastructure in Guyana, but I want to touch on the human side, the people of Guyana. You know, I was passing by the office of the president just now, not too long ago, and there's 3 young boys out there, and they're begging at this hour of the night.
Yeah.
You know, so when we talk about development, we first got to consider our people, the people of Guyana. And there are so many programs that money that we keep giving away to these guys who already have it can go to help our people, to develop our people. You see? So besides the infrastructure and all of that, we got to focus on our people. I mean, you probably can go any part of this country and you're going to find people living in some dire circumstances. That money could have gone and can still go to help all of those people. The other point I want to touch on is that the fact that you mentioned the contract. The contract itself with the oil companies, as you mentioned, started on an illegal footing. So there should be no issue as it pertains to renegotiating the contract.
Exactly.
So the only thing that we can think of is there's no will or no effort to renegotiate it.
No, you put it that way. I can't think of nothing else but asking them what they're getting personally.
Yeah.
Because I can't see that why our leaders not talking about renegotiating. Listen, man, you don't have to be an idiot would ask for renegotiation.
Yeah.
Much as financial gurus like these people we have in this country. So you can see something has tied them. Tied them. I told my staff, I said, you ever see a guana? When you catch guana, how we tie them up? Well, I want to believe that my leaders is so tied up, is so wrapped up, that even their eyeballs, Exxon get a needle and thread, and even stitch up the eyeballs. You hear me? That's how much they're wrapped and stitched and taped. They're really strapped and taped. So I don't know how they're going to get out there. But like the caller said before, if they can't do it, just step aside, man. Just step aside and allow people to do it. You know? You guys don't want to do it? Support these type of programs, man, and let us do it ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? Let us support us and let's get going. We have to get a change.
The thing about it also is that we have so many examples across the world to learn from. We have so many countries that went into oil production and we see what's happening today. You can even look in places like the nitrous delta in Nigeria.
Exactly.
You can look at Equatorial Guinea.
All
you
over.
can look at all these countries, and we can learn from them.
Exactly.
You see, and by now, after 2 years, we're supposed to have been in a better position, simply because we have all of those examples. So, yeah, I would encourage Guyanese, for us to stand up, to raise our voices, to come out and
we have to,
ask for
one
things to
second,
be-
and we have to stand as one. We got to stand as a body, as one people. An elderly 93-year-old man came to my office today, and he says, Glenn Lall, thank you so much, bro. And the man said, he's trying to get people to listen and to listen and to listen. And he said, it is so difficult. He said, all we see in this country is race. The Africans look to the PPP, to the coalition, and the Indians look to the PPP. And I'm saying to you guys, that's fine. Look to your PPP and look to your PNC. That's fine, that's okay. But please, when it comes to our livelihood and our pockets and our children's livelihood, let us bind together, because the man who is coming in front of us is coming to take from the African and from the Indian for their children and children's. Let us safeguard and protect ours. I'm saying again, it is fine. You be your African and be for your APNU. You be your Indian or you be for your PPP. That's fine with Glenn Lall. I have no problem with that. All I'm saying, before I say good night and God bless you, please let us look at each other. If we never come together, we can do it today, we can do it now for all of us. This is not about one side or the other side. Let us do it together and say, listen guys, you can't rob us. We are going to bind together, we're going to stick together, and we're going to fight together for our children and our future. God bless you. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, good night.
Victory.